Guys, we are going to start today by learning how to draw a cylinder. We are going to practice our value, which is one of our elements of art, and getting our shading, and we're going to use line to do it, which covers another element of art. So here we go. First thing you need is a sheet of paper, ruler, pencil with an eraser, because we'll be using that quite a bit. And then I shall have for you some chalk. So what we want to do is we want to make sure our paper is long ways, not horizontal, but actually vertical. And we're going to find the center of our paper, and we are going to draw our cylinder 6 inches. Just a friendly reminder, you don't start at 1, but you start at 0. So that'll be 6 inches. Let's mark that. 6 inches. Then, from the center of that line on the bottom, you'll want to go 4 inches, 2 inches on both sides. It's 2 inches here, 2 inches here. You want to do the same up top. One thing that's really important that you need to make sure that you do is you need to draw lightly, because the first few lines that we originally draw on here will not be lines that we keep in the final project. Alright. So we have 4 inches. These 2 inches each. So we got 4 inches altogether, a 6-inch line, 2 inches on either side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect our ends together using a ruler, not free drawing it, but using a ruler. On both sides, creating a nice rectangle. Alright, so if we did that correctly, these should equal 6 inches too. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on this section right here, and we are doing 1 inch. So finding our inch section right here, 1 to 2, we're going to focus on the halfway mark, and we'll put that halfway mark on our 4-inch line where the 4-inch and the 6-inch line add up right here, these little corners. We're going to go half an inch up, put a little dot, half an inch down, put a little dot. Alright, and then we're going to draw a line. You see that right there? And do the same down here, focusing on half an inch above the line, half an inch below the line, connecting it together for an inch, right there. Now, the next section we're going to do is we're going to freehand, and we're going to go from the center dot and curve to the outer line, again drawing it lightly. And we're going to do that on the top and the bottom. See that? So we're going to curve lines together. And do that up top as well. That should be what your image looks like before we start erasing things. Alright, so here we are. Now we just got to erase some lines. This is where our pencil comes in handy. We're going to erase the center, this top piece up here. Making sure we get that outer line nice and clean. And we're going to erase everything else that would be in our cylinder. We don't need that anymore. There we go. So now we've got this nice little cylinder going on here. Perfect. So the next thing we'll do is we're going to shade. And when we start shading, we need to first establish a light source. I have my lamp on here just to kind of show you where the light source would be. So I put like a little arrow just to remind me where my light source will be up here in the top corner. And then I'm going to grab a piece of chalk. Don't need a lot of chalk, actually, something with a nice straight line edge. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to outline my cylinder so I kind of know where everything ends, and especially when you're dealing with chalk, it gets really, really messy. Sometimes it's better to just rotate the paper. There we go. Alright, so if my light source is up here and I have basically a soup can that's empty, and we want to see here with our example we've already done, is we are going to have dark on the light side and then the opposite corner. So this will be where we shade first. So let's go ahead and take this top corner. And the beautiful thing about chalk pastels is it actually takes very little, and then you can blend it out, get a nice smooth effect. Got it? Just like that. We're going to do the opposite corner. So the beautiful thing about chalk pastels is that you have your dark value and you're creating it by drawing it, and then you're using your fingers to blend out your nice medium values. Notice how I curve my fingers in order to create that nice value. I'm going all the way to that line, making sure it's nice and clean. I'm going to blow some of that chalk away, because if I swipe it, it's just going to, as you can see right here, it's just going to kind of blend out, and that's going to be more for me to clean. So you kind of want to blow it away. Smoothing it out, making sure everything's nice and curved. There you go. And the last step we're going to do is we're going to create a shadow down here, because if our light's coming up here, we're going to have a shadow on our table. Now, the shadow, because our table is technically flat, we are going to curve with the edge of our cylinder, as you can see here. And clean up this bottom piece right here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So we'll curve that, and then we'll blend again, blend out. And we're going to go straight. We're not going to curve this line at all. We're just going to go straight across. Alright, and then the last thing we're going to do, the last step, because remember 10% of your grade is just how clean your paper is, keeping it clean. You may not be able to draw very well, but you can keep your paper nice and clean. We're going to rotate our paper. We are going to clean up our shading. Taking time to get these fingerprints nice and off of it. The chalk's going to stain your paper just a little bit. It's totally fine. There's a difference between knowing those two. Alright. Alright. There you go. Nice little cylinder sitting on the table. where we show value and we use the element line. If you need to see the measurements or anything else like that again, you can look on the chalkboard. I will have some examples laid out for you.